The devastating impact of conflicts across Eastern, Southern, and West African countries, compounded by COVID-19, has unfortunately negatively impacted economic growth and increased poverty and excluded those that have been hardest hit from access to markets and affordability of inputs, thanks to decades of inequalities and non-functional systems that have been happening in the agriculture system, amongst others. As we all know, conflicts emerge as a result of exclusion or perceived exclusion in a shared economy. And this is aggravated by a lack of dialogue. There is need to learn from the cost and duration of these conflicts on the continent and share lessons across countries on how these lack of dialogues continues to impact lack of access to food, increased number of refugees across countries, and continues to constrain the economic budget and economic growth of many of our sub-Saharan countries. Leaders across the continent require safe spaces in which they can encourage meaningful and accountable dialogues that can facilitate political and policy harmonization. Sub-Saharan Africa has been held back for many years due to fragmented markets, and these continue to inhibit efficiency and access in spite of our capacity to produce food that would be enough to feed the continent. The opportunity of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area presents a very large market for goods, services, and free movement of capital, labor, and business. Unfortunately, this will never come to fruition unless the leaders come together and prioritize this one common market for the benefit of the opportunities and the competitive advantage that Africa presents. To elevate sector competitiveness, Sub-Saharan Africa needs to provide an immediate pathway to build an inclusive economic transformation. This, however, requires building sector competitiveness across markets, across value chains that includes both public, private, and development actors. Interestingly, we've got the models, and all they need is scale, commitment, focus, and a long-term approach.